Say a few quick words about today's rally. As I'm sure everyone's seen today, there was an unusually large gathering here in the centre of Adelaide. We estimate more than 5,000 to 6,000 people who started gathering around lunchtime and went right through to nearly 3:30, walking down to North Terrace from the square. A number of speeches and a really large gathering for what we might usually see in South Australia. I'm very pleased to say that from the outset we were engaged with the organisers in making sure today was as safe as it could be for everyone from the rally sense. I applaud the organisers and exceptionally good behaviour by everyone who was here today. We haven't seen any incidents of concern, there were no arrests, no injuries, and people had a chance to have their say and be out in the public on what is a very topical, emotional and relevant issue in today's society and the purpose of the march today. So my thanks to the South Australian community for one, the way it's been managed today, and two, the way everyone's conducted themselves. For what it's worth, if there's any questions, I'm happy to try and answer for you if you have any.
Assistant Commissioner, in your experience, is this one of the biggest rallies you've seen in Adelaide?
We were making comment today, if you go back many years, this will be one of the largest ever. I think the vision speaks for itself. And yet, people were able to walk from the square down to North Terrace, exceptionally well managed by the organisers, and so yes, the largest, and I would say the best run event I've seen for a long time.
So you go as far as say it's the largest you've seen?
Largest I've seen for sure.
And how long's your career? Sorry, Mark.
40 years.
This is all coming in the context of a global pandemic, COVID-19. Social distancing, by the looks of it, was almost non-existent at this rally, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look, one of the requests we put out when today's rally was that people try as best they can for social distancing. On occasions there was, on occasions there wasn't. But it's very difficult, as you would have seen, in such a large crowd. And I'm sure many people, families, children, and those who have keenly interested also in this topic from today, came here not knowing how many people might be here, but with the intention of doing the right thing. And a lot of people did try, and I must commend them. It's very hard in a small space, but I'm pleased with what happened, and there were no altercations or anything unusual that would take it for more than being just a rally that was run well, and I'm pleased with that.
Your boss, Grant Stevens, had a difficult decision to make yesterday about moving forward with it. We've seen other police forces around the country wrestle with it, particularly in New South Wales as a hotbed. You know, the Supreme Court said no last night and then it was approved this afternoon. What was coming into Grant Stevens' determination, and why did he, I guess, ultimately decide to greenlight the protest?
I say, look, I've been asked to speak about what the Commissioner may have been thinking or not thinking. Of course, I can't do that with accuracy, but I have been privy to many conversations where I'm quite aware that in reaching determinations for the decisions that are made, it's not done lightly. There's much interaction with health, much interaction with all interested parties, and now the transition committee that moves on where we head to in the future. So these aren't spur of the moment decisions. They're not easy. They come with challenges. Some are for them, some are against, but they're done with the best of intention to bring us together out of where we are, and none of it's easy. But we have to stand by what we've done, and we are pleased to. Rest assured, they're not done on the side of the desk. These are major decisions, so a lot goes into it.
Police Assistant Commissioner, there was a lot of emotion today. There was a lot of speeches about police brutality, yep. Particularly here in South Australia. What's the police's response to some of those comments that police are targeting black people?
Yeah, well, I just to pick up on the word targeting black people, let's put some context here. People have the right to say what they've said today, absolutely, but it's also in the context of much fine behaviour across society, including with police. We arrest tens and tens and tens of thousands of people in any given year, and the number of incidents of any major concern are very small. We take them seriously if they do occur, not only South Australia but across Australia, and so we welcome today's public comment, the ability to talk out loud, the ability and freedom that people and confidence people have to be able to speak what they have today. But we applaud that, and no one condones violence, and if anything is amiss or does go wrong, it's looked at. It's looked at from the top to the bottom. So there's no carte blanche violence or acceptance of any of that behaviour anywhere in South Australia or across Australia.
The sheer numbers of this, and you look across the country, thousands and thousands of hit the streets. Does this give police a chance for introspection? Do you take note what they're saying? And I guess as a police officer yourself, how do you respond to that?
Okay, so I've been in the police 40 years. I've seen and heard a lot, and introspection is a great word. We're always looking how to do the job better. We always listen to the community. We police with and on behalf of the community. It's not just us. I live in the community, my family does, my daughter, my wife. So we're part of the community, and so we listen. There have been changes ad infinitum over many years from various commissions or hearings or investigations, and so there should be. So we welcome the spotlight, and today was another example of it. So I think today's, particularly the involvement of the organisers with the police, just shows how much it can be done if you work together, and is being done and has been for years.
For a young person of colour from a minority group who clearly there's a lot of emotion today for them and they're expressing their opinion, what do you say to them when they're looking at you as a police officer and say that things need to change? What's your message to that person?
Okay, well, first of all, I'd say this. I don't think it's just young people of colour. There were people of all race and creed here today, including people I know, including off-duty police officers. My neighbours were here. So this is a community focus, a community response, and my comment to that is thank you. Thank you for keeping the focus on the right topics. We listen, the government listens. We're not adverse to criticism, we accept criticism, and I think you find in South Australia, we're in a very good place. You have a police force that has a very good reputation. It's made up of the community, and so we will always try and do better, and I'd encourage the young people of today to have that enthusiasm and confidence of where we're heading, because it's true.
Assistant Commissioner, were you surprised at the no arrests, no trouble, no antisocial behaviour of one of the largest crowds you've seen in your career?
Oh, look, I think on pure mathematics you'd say you might be surprised, but this didn't just happen. Again, there was great involvement with the organisers. There's a lot of emotion in the speeches, and yet everybody was able to walk together, talk together, and be together. So I'm pleasantly surprised, but I've got to say I expected it. We don't anticipate trouble, we plan for it, but that's in the hands of the community. And another example of during these really tough times of people getting together and trying to come through a lot of things, including COVID, together.
So is it fair to say that the police are happy that the decision that they've made to allow it to go ahead today?
Yes.
So, Assistant Commissioner, very similar question off the back of Andrew's. We've heard the Prime Minister tell people to stay away from these rallies because of health concerns. If there is a coronavirus outbreak that's linked to today's rally, what responsibility will police take?
So I've been asked what responsibility police take. There have been a number of restrictions that have been altered over the last few days, including more people in licensed premises and around the place. So this is part of the very careful tread forward. If there is an outbreak, if something is evident, it will, through a very, very capable health system, find out where and how it started. Not necessarily from this, it could be from anywhere, but we don't expect that. We're in a unique situation where the Commissioner of Police can make decisions on valuable health information, and you know yourselves that we have no community outbreaks at the minute. We are in a very good spot, and we've got to take steps forward, or else we're going to stay back. So I commend the decision made. Nothing comes without risk, but you've got to move forward, or you'll be asking why not. So I think we're in this together. We are going to take some risks, but they're calculated, they're health-based, and they're needed. So I support it.
Could there be another 6,000 person protest next week? The proposal came on, the Commissioner's desk on Monday?
The Commissioner can make any decision he likes, and everything will receive the same attention. If it's for 2,000 or 6,000, everything is decided on its merit. There's a health element to it, and the Commissioner has been doing this for now nearly 3 months, and we've probably seen and heard it all, the goods and bads, but these are decisions that we make on behalf of the state, for the state, with the health authorities, and it's not easy, but it's done for the right reason, and we have to stand by some of those decisions and move forward.
Last question. Assistant Commissioner, given that this was one of the largest gatherings you've seen in your career, you said so far, what do you think is one of the successes or the key factors to today's success when it was an environment full of such passion?
Well, you know, I think part of the day was actually, it's probably the first time in Australia that across Australia we've been able to come out together, and so it's a cathartic moment for the community to be able to gather and voice, which we should in a democracy, and the topics itself is also highly relevant, so you put them together. That's why there's so many people here. We're exercising our rights, and that is a good thing, and again I applaud the behaviour. I think others could learn a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
All right.
much, Assistant Commissioner.